Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel, and today what I'm going to be doing is making a little plastic washer that I'm making out of a plastic microwavable sandwich holder. And these little washers that I'm making are going to make these latches on the Freedom tops on Jeeps. They're going to make these guys a lot tighter, so that your top is going to seal and be really snugger than it was at the factory. These handles, I noticed, they are loose. Even when you close the handle on these, they're a little bit, I mean, it takes no pressure to close it. Now, I have two washers already on this one that I previously videoed and made, and to undo that, I really have to use some strength now to close this, as you can see. And that's snug. That's the way it should have been made at the manufacturer. So what I used was a little sandwich container. That's a microwavable plastic. I think it's like $1 or something. And they're very inexpensive. So for what I'm doing and what I'm fixing, or actually improving on, it just cost me $1.25 or something like that. Who knows? But inexpensive. One thing I would recommend also is make a template so that you don't have to keep cutting these and figuring out what the dimensions are. So yeah, well, let's put it in. So a trick that I'm discovering is that this is a piece of the washer, and I've cut the diameter out. Now I want to do a center punch right in the center so that I can start cutting from the center. So I'll just set it like that using a paper punch, and there you have it. Then you can start whittling that down. So what you're looking at now is, this is the Jeep, part of the Jeep itself, and this is where that latch is going to meet. And then as the two latches, they both have this same geometric shape. When they hit each other right here, then they slip in. But over time, what happens, I notice, is that latch gets a little loose, you know. So what I'm doing is I'm re-engineering things. So here is where the bolt screw goes in. You have to put that square little rectangle back in here, okay? So that keeps the handle from like turning too much. So remember that when you put your handle back, that little rectangle goes right in this area right in here. So this is the handle that goes on the Jeep, and as you can see, that little angle right there. See how there's a little bit of a little angle here. This is the flat part. So as you turn the handle, it goes under that latch that I showed you in the Jeep, and then puts a little bit of pressure on the other end of the latch system. And so what I want to do is I want to make this a little bit tighter, and there's really no way that you can do it except to put something in here where this bolt right here is going to go down in here. Okay, so that's going to go down in there, and then as you can see, there's your threads. Now what I'm doing is actually shortening the bolt threads there. So with just putting two pieces of this very thin plastic, I'm going to take away a thread, pretty much one thread. So that's going to give me the ability to, when I cinch this up, it'll be a lot tighter when I'm closing the latch on the Jeep. This is what it looks like when I finish doing the cutting with the plastic. So I have a washer in here, and you can fit that screw bolt right down into that area right there. So again, it's going to snug up a lip right there, that angle, take away one of these threads. So as you're threading up into the Jeep hardtop, what's going to happen is that by using the plastic, I'm taking away or setting a distance, this distance right here, maybe one, maybe two threads. Those plastic threads that I make are going to start seating right about where my fingernail is, right there. So this area right in here is going to be where the plastic's going to be taking away this one thread right there and maybe that next thread. So it'll be a lot snugger when I put that bolt up into the Jeep. So I'm showing you right now, this is the thickness of the sandwich container that I cut out for the washer, and I'm looking at 0.78 millimeters on the washer that I made. Right here is nut bolt or screw, or the bolt screw, whatever you want to call it. But I added a little blue Loctite. So I know before I commented that I didn't want to add any blue Loctite, but I'm just gonna go ahead and do it. So now what I found out is the best application is just to take one of these plastic little washers that I made, and it'll make the handle absolutely sturdy. It won't vibrate or anything like that, and puts a little bit more torque or tightness between the Freedom panel and the Jeep itself. So there you go. We're gonna take this here. Make sure that you get that little dowel and that little rectangle groove. You want to set that up into the little notch there, up into the Freedom panel. And again, it's a T40, and you want to, so this one on this side is going to close like this. So just position it properly, and you take the long end of the T40 and you just sit there and just torque it in. Keep the handle positioned so that notch again seats into that little well that it's going to go into, and just check it. You should be able to bring it out like that, and it should stop. This handle should stop. If it keeps going that way, then you've improperly positioned it. And so there you go. And I'm going to torque it now. You just get it snug. There we go. And there you go. No more rattle. Even right now, there's no rattle. That is super tight. It's snug. As before, in the video that you saw on the other clip, not the other video, but in the other clip, remember when I went like this, it would just move all over the place. Now it's solid, and you really got to push that forward. So there you go.